Hey guys, Zero Gaming back here, and welcome back to the channel. So if you guys are new, today we are just going to be discussing some Season 2 Apex Legends updates, some data mines, and my personal theories, and then most importantly, what went down at the little EA conference the other day, and just like kind of just talk about like what we saw. So let's just talk about E3 for a second. They were not at E3, Apex Legends wasn't, so we didn't really see a huge thing there, so we didn't really like get to see that. But what we did see is like more EA games, but nothing about Apex Legends. So what I'm going to show you guys today and just talk about is what's going to be happening in Apex Legends. So we obviously know that the data mine also went down, but they also suspect a new map, which would make sense that we're going to be on an island again, most likely. And this time, maybe it's going to be different. Now, in kind of like thinking about it, there's different, I guess, biomes on the island that we play on now. There's like wet zones, there's jungle areas, there's desert areas, city areas. There's kind of like a good mix of all types of biomes in the mix right now, but it's mostly just swamp, wetlands, green, and desert. So we don't get that much. It would be interesting if there was like some ice or something. We're definitely not there yet. Maybe for Season 3, I could see that like during the winter months. I could see that for Season 3, but definitely not right now. The data mine also said, which some people are agreeing with. I kind of agree with it too. Like it makes sense. And that there are also going to be new characters, which I also agree with. There's plenty of spaces for new characters on there. I'm sure they could, with all the weird misfit characters they created right now, I'm sure they could be able to create a few more. And there's plenty of space to put these now. And what would be interesting is the different Apex Legends. Now here's what I think. I think they have so many more options. They could have permanent invisibility, and that could be one of the things. Not like Wraith, like you can still see like a purple outline, but maybe just like camo or like a hunter maybe. It's kind of what Caustic is, but he's more like on the poison side. So maybe some kind of like stealth person, not an interdimensional demon thing. So that's what Wraith kind of is. And then we could also have somebody stunning or blinding somebody for like a few seconds, like making like the people in the surrounding area maybe walk slow or not be able to see. Okay, like whiting out the screen for a few seconds while the other team can make like a quick getaway. Something along those lines. And then something else which is pretty interesting, they also think that on the legends, that different legends will have different, I guess, perks again. So they might be refreshing the perks for the legends or adding on to them or making them a little bit different. If you guys don't know, it took them about 3 months to take 2 bullets out of a gun. So see what I mean? So I think they're going to be making some huge updates in Season 2, and that was kind of like their way of doing it. Because EA, they like to, I guess it's not about money with them. I mean, it is kind of thing. But most importantly, they want to not like shower everybody with free updates. They want Season 2 updates. They want to incorporate it. So what they could do now is what they probably have been doing is making enough updates, bigger updates that we haven't seen, they haven't released, but they're going to be putting them in Season 2, which would make sense. Just so you don't like dump everything out at once. You like make your players wait for it. It's not always as good. Some people are just like not staying with it and they're going away from Apex Legends because there's just like no new content or any types of like new legends. I would like a legend. That would be very nice. And then also, so they did have an Apex at EA, but we really didn't see like it didn't say too much about it. It's like some of them are like informational, and some of them are just like kind of like the Halo E3 trailer. There was no gameplay, there was nothing, so that's what I'm kind of talking about there. And then As for everything else, they're also going to be adding new skins, of course. So I'll just talk about that for a second. So they do have already a lot of skins, and I mean they're pretty basic skins. There's nothing too crazy, like any add-ons or like shoulder pads or something along those lines, or maybe like an extra fake gun holster, something like that. They already have enough like gun decorations and really cool ones, but I think they will be adding on to that. It even says in here that they will have different ones. And you know, that's just how it's gonna go. Even to the new legends they add, which I'm like pretty certain that they will be adding new legends, or at least new textures or skin packs. I definitely know that with these new characters they're going to need new skin packs. They'll also probably be adding new guns too. New, like, I don't like when I kind of like stutter on that. It's kind of like maybe new weapons, maybe not just guns, you know, who knows, you know, they might add like some kind of like rocket launcher or some kind of like swords. That is unlikely though, it's very unlikely. I think they're just going to stick to guns for now. But, you know, maybe in the future, they have grenades, you know, they have special abilities, different talents. So I think that's what they're going to stick for now. And maybe they'll spend a lot of time making sure that their heroes' talents are really good, or like the Apex Legends talents are really good. And then that's about it for like game purpose. Now let's talk about like gameplay itself. So as we know, it's probably going to have some bug fixes as well. It's not like it's been a huge deal with their bugs, but they have had a lot of major glitches. They had a huge aimbot glitch that came out, and like over 300,000 users got kicked. Those users probably came back, or they just gave up because they couldn't win. What probably happened is that, you know, anybody could come back. All they have to do is make like a new, like, let's say mine was like, I guess, let's say Trex Mix, there we go. And let's say, or like Grunger, let's say Grunger, and you just put Grunger 1. Well, I get kicked, I can come back as Grunger 1-1. So that's kind of it. It's really easy to get kicked and then come immediately back into the game. Now, your stuff will be lost, of course, but so you have to like work out for it again. But for people with like aimbots and glitches, I mean, you're literally going to make yourself the Apex Legends, so there's no really need. You can probably just buy everything back you got, even though all your money is going to be, you know, gone. And then let's talk about like some of the legends too that need to be fixed. So the legends that need to be fixed that are kind of like in the queue are Bloodhound, Caustic, and yours truly, Gibraltar. And you know, they're all kind of different. Gibraltar and Caustic, they have pretty big aim boxes, you know. They're like the complete opposite of Pathfinder. Even though Gibraltar, if you compared it to like Lifeline, the smallest character, and then you compare that to Gibraltar, the difference will shock you. He is definitely a bigger character than all the other ones. Not to say he doesn't have a body shield, and now they did fix some stuff with him for the time being. He will probably be powerful, you know, more now. And then the Caustic glitch, also, they need to fix that, because you can still Caustic glitch. I do it sometimes. And yeah, that's just interesting how that happens. And then Bloodhound, he's pretty strong. How he has, you know, his seen through sights, but it'd be more interesting if he could like track them, like, because it only works for a few seconds, and then you're cut off from it. And it'd be interesting if his tracker was a lot bigger, and he had that'd be really interesting. It'd be super overpowered if his like eagle was like carrying like a camera or something. You could see her on the map. That'd be so overpowered, and I don't think we'll see that. But I think he'll have something like that, more of like a tracking ability, or maybe something like Red Dead Redemption 2, where like you'll pick up like a trail and you can follow it to the person. Now, see, I could see something like that being more used, and maybe, you know, it's like 2 minutes of their last year in 2 minutes, you can follow them, and see, that would be pretty interesting. Especially Bloodhounds, like, you cannot find, or you cannot hide, which is kind of interesting. See, Merge and Bloodhound, they don't really, it's kind of like interesting with them, but we'll talk more about that in a next video. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Grunge Lamp Zero Gaming. I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, I'm just going to